teach-back approach? A teach-back approach is exactly what it sounds like. It involves a health professional giving information, then asking the patient to recall and teach back the information as they understand it. Teach-back approaches are widely encouraged in practice as they allow us to see if our patient education has been effective and to recognise where any information may be missed or misconstrued. But teach-back approaches can be really awkward, especially when you first start using them. Testing the patient by asking them to tell you what you've just told them is not only a bit weird, but it can make the patient really uncomfortable as well. So how can we use a teach-back approach effectively? Try not to think of a teach-back approach as being a test of the patient's knowledge. It's better to think of it as a way of telling how well I've explained the information. So I like to make the teach-back approach about checking me as the clinician rather than testing the patient. So let's look at some examples of using a teach-back approach without the added awkwardness. I realise I've given you a lot of information today, which can be really overwhelming. Just so I know I haven't missed anything, can you let me know what you now understand is happening with your back? Or just so I can be sure I've given a clear explanation of what the plan is, can you tell me what you're going to do for the next few days or when you get home? Or we can be even more specific and give the patient a hypothetical situation. So when you're at work this week and you notice that your ankle's getting really sore and swollen when you're getting up from your desk, what will you do? Or if your toddler asks to be picked up when she's crying, can you show me how you'll do it? Here's some helpful tips around using a teach-back approach. If you use a teach-back approach and the patient still doesn't understand, that's okay. That was the whole point in using it. You can then consider other strategies to help them understand. You can go over the information, explaining it in a different way. And if this doesn't help, then thinking about other ways of presenting the information, acknowledging that people learn in different ways. It might be helpful to write things down or use diagrams or models. If it's the patient's recall that's the issue, you can consider simplifying information into a few key points and writing it down for them to take away. A teach-back approach also takes practice. It will take a little time, but once it's part of your routine, it becomes much more easier and much more effective. Once you're comfortable with the technique, try and use it with everyone, every time.